Hello, this is Mr. Waterman, and this is Lesson 8.2, Using Properties of Parallelograms. First of all, the definition of a parallelogram is that it is a quadrilateral, which is a four-sided polygon, and the opposite sides are going to be parallel. So these two sides that look horizontal are parallel, and this other pair of opposite sides that are going up and to the left would also be parallel. So we've got four different properties of parallelograms that we're going to need you to get into your notes. So the first one here is that opposite sides are going to be congruent. So the pair of sides that we marked here on the top, that's a pair of opposite sides. So we're going to show that those are congruent. And likewise, the other pair of opposite sides are also marked as congruent to each other. Okay, next property that we want to deal with, the second one, is that opposite angles are congruent. So pairs of opposite angles are the ones that are not next to each other, which we would call those consecutive angles. So these ones that are marked in green, those angles are going to be congruent. And likewise, these ones marked with the little purple lines are also congruent. This pair of opposite angles, those are congruent. Third property we're going to work with is that consecutive angles are supplementary. So a pair of consecutive angles would be these two. Alright, so these consecutive angles are going to be supplementary, meaning that the two measures added together are going to equal 180 degrees. Alright? And there are four pairs of consecutive angles. See if you can find the rest of them in your spare time. Alright, so we also have fourth property, diagonals are going to bisect each other. And we'll talk about this on the very next slide. So let's go ahead and see if we can put these properties to work. So in this example down here, example 1, they're asking us to find the values of x and y. So let's go ahead and tackle x first. We have x degrees, and all the way across, they've shown us that angle h is 72 degrees. So it's one of our two properties about angles. So this one says opposite angles are congruent. So these, angle h and angle f, are opposite angles. So that means that x, the measure of x in degrees, is going to equal 72 degrees. Now let's go on and see if we can work on the second part of this problem, where they've asked us to find y. So they've given us this side GH, and they say that that equals y minus 8 in length. And then the side that's parallel to it here, the opposite side, is 36. So this very first property up above here says opposite sides are congruent. So we're going to go ahead and use that property. So we can now write the relationship that GH, which equals y minus 8, is going to equal 36. And then we can go ahead and solve that. Adding 8 to both sides of the equation, we'll end up with 36 plus 8 is 44 most days of the week. So we'll get y equals 44. On to that fourth property. Fourth property, in our book it's called Theorem 8.6. The number's not important. What's important is the content, and you need to get this in your notes. It says if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its diagonals bisect each other. Bisect means cut each other in half. Okay, so over in this diagram we have a parallelogram QRSP, and this point these are the two diagonals. PR is one diagonal, and QS is the other. And they meet at point M. So if you take a look, point M is going to be the midpoint. And since they bisect each other, then this segment QM is going to be congruent to segment MS. So those are going to be marked as congruent. Similarly, the other diagonal is bisected, so segment PM is congruent to segment MR. Alright, so for question 1 on this lesson, given that this parallelogram FGHJ over here is a parallelogram, we're going to want you to find the length of MH, this segment, and FH. That's the end of lesson 8.2.